Good morning from the United States. Welcome to the Hat Beaver. This is the second of the Hat Beaver saga videos, and hopefully this one will give you an insight into the Hat Beaver itself and why it's called the Hat Beaver. I'll give you some of the history and why I built this pub in the basement. This is a photograph of the Hat Beaver, which is situated in the small market town of Atherstone, approximately 11,500 people and about 3/4 the size of Lamont, which is where I live, which has approximately 17,000 people. So it's not a big place and not a big pub actually. There's 2 rooms. The window that you're looking at in the centre there is the public bar, and behind that is the lounge bar, so just 2 bars, and above is accommodation for the landlord. And this is the pub that I owned. I didn't own the building, but I owned the business. This is the pub that I owned for a couple of years before I came to the US. This is a map of the UK, United Kingdom, and just to give you some idea of where Atherstone is, if I zoom in, you can see it picking up Birmingham, which is the second city of England, and Coventry to the right. So Atherstone, although it's not named on this map, is northeast of Birmingham and northwest of Coventry, approximately 103 miles from London. Okay, so Atherstone was a small market town, and the main industry of the town was the hatting industry. There was approximately 3 or 4 hatching factories. So most of the people that lived in the town actually worked at those factories at one time or another, I expect. Probably families worked there, I should think, to a couple of generations, because the hatting industry was quite prevalent in the UK for a while. Now the Hat Beaver is the only pub in the town of Atherstone that was named after the industry of the town. And the reason for their name is because they used to use the best quality hides of beavers from North America and Canada in order to make the quality top hats that they made. So the Hat Beaver was named after the industry of the town. Only a small market town, but a very prevalent industry in Great Britain at the time. Sadly, none of the hatting factories are still working in Atherstone. When I was there in 1997, there was one still operating, and during the period of 97, 98, 99, when I was there in the pub, it closed down. I did try and contact the manager of the company before it closed down in order to maybe get some bits and pieces to put around the pub, but unfortunately, although he said he was going to collect some stuff together, the place closed and that was it. It was empty, so I couldn't even get back in or talk to him. So unfortunately, we lost out on the stuff to put around the pub. I thought it'd be interesting to actually have the pub with some of the paraphernalia of the hatting industry, but unfortunately, it didn't work out like that. Now, the pub itself was, as I say, a small pub, one of 27, servicing approximately 11,500 people. So it was competition was quite strong. And unfortunately, my pub, the Hat Beaver, being on the outskirts of the main part of the city, was not as popular as some of the pubs closer to the centre of the town. But I didn't get a lot of custom. I managed it on my own. I had one person that came in on a Friday just to give me a break, because otherwise I was there from 11 in the morning till 11 at night every single day, except for Friday, where I was there from 11 till about 6, I think, and then I gave it over to my friend looked after it for me while I went out and had a few beers in different places myself. But I had a lot of fun running the pub for a couple of years. Unfortunately, not being much of a businessman, I wasn't able to make a go of it, so I closed it down at the end of 2099, yes, and moved to America in the year 2000, just in February of 2000, came to America, and then my story changed a little bit from living in England for 50 years, or 49 years, and then my 50th birthday was actually here in America. That's another story. So when I first came to America, I moved into a house in Streamwood, which is northwest suburbs of Chicago, and was there for 8 years, 9, 10 years, something like that. I built a basement pub. It was a bi-level, so I built a pub in the bottom level of the place, and 16-foot bar, again, typical English style bar, and that was the Hat Beaver II, because the first was obviously the original one. Hat Beaver II. In order to make myself feel more at home, I built the bar. Had lots of parties, St. Patrick's Day and Halloween being the two best ones, and for a while had some good parties for a number of years, which were well frequented by friends and even relatives who used to come over from England for the parties on one or two occasions. But it was a good time. I think the most I've had in my pub over in Streamwood was about 70 people, and that was a good party. There were 3 deep at the bar. Great. Got through 2 barrels of beer, and everybody had a good time. It was really, really good fun. So the Hat Beaver in Streamwood went on for until about 2013, when I bought another house in Lamont, and moved into that one. And then, because I enjoyed myself so much in the bar over in Streamwood, I built another bar, which was far better and bigger than the one in Streamwood, as you've seen from the first video, and that was the Hat Beaver III, which is the current one at the moment, which is where I'm currently sat, in front of my wall of beer, as you can see behind me. All the bottles you can see behind me are from Binny's, and it's all English, Irish or Scottish ales, and 1 or 2 Welsh ales as well. So everything's from England and from Binny's. Unfortunately, the range in Binny's is not anywhere near as good as it used to be, so I can't get so much these days. But for the last 20 years I've been collecting those bottles, and got a good selection of a good variety of beers that I used to enjoy in England when I was over there, and have enjoyed over here. Some of those behind me are full, some are not. I have opened up 1 or 2 occasionally, although some of them are nearly 20 years old. Sometimes the beer is good, sometimes it's not so good, but it's potluck now, because it's some of these beer bottles are so old that I started collecting them when I was over in Streamwood. As soon as I moved in, basically, or as soon as I finished building the bar, I started collecting beer bottles for England anyway. So that's basically the history of the pub, and hope you enjoyed this short video, and there'll be others, and I'll start going around the rooms in some of the others and talking about what's on the walls and everything else concerning the various rooms of the pub. So I'll say goodbye for now, and look out for the next one, number 3. Toodaloo.